Alright, so the first destination I've chosen is the Castle of Prague. Zoom in here. So, the Castle of Prague was built around 870 and is located within the city of Prague in the Czech Republic. The 110-acre complex of Prague Castle is also often referred to as the Radšení, which is a collective name of all the palaces, offices, gardens, courtyards that we see hiding between the buildings here, and churches that are within the complex. So, historically speaking, the castle was founded in 880 as a seat of power for the Bohemian kings at the time. The first ruler who founded the see at the castle was Prince Bořivoj, and as time continued, the 14th century brought huge developments such as the creation of the St. Vitus Cathedral that we see right here in the middle of the castle. Let's take a closer look. It's not as blurry and it's more rendered. So if we look right up here, here is the St. Vitus Cathedral, which I think would be really cool to visit in person. That's just my opinion. So, again, with the St. Vitus Cathedral, it was built during the 14th century, and it happened to be under the when the Holy Roman Emperor Charles IV made the castle his residence. And then during the 19th century, additional buildings in residence style were added onto Prague Castle by the Habsburg Emperor Rudolf II. And now moving it to more recent times, in 1918, the Czechoslovak Republic was founded and the Castle of Prague became the seat of the Czechoslovak Republic. Where did you go? Flew me all the way across. And so in 1918, when the Czechoslovak Republic was founded, Prague Castle again became the seat of the Czechoslovak president, Thomas Masaryk, and as of today, the castle still remains as the residence of the head of state, which in this case is the president of the Czech Republic today. And within the Castle of Prague, there is still, of course, historical significance. And in the castle, relics of the Bohemian kings, as well as Christian artifacts, historical documents, crown jewels, and treasured works of art are kept here. So all in all, Prague Castle is historically significant in Czech history. It is also considered as an important cultural institution of the Czech state. Now, the second place of the tour here is Stonehenge, which is located in the Salisbury Plain. And the Salisbury Plain is located roughly 8 miles north of Salisbury in Wiltshire, England. And what's significant about Stonehenge is that we are still unsure of what purpose it holds, and not only that, the construction of Stonehenge holds mysteries. So the blue stone that makes up the inner rings that we see here have been traced nearly 200 miles away from Stonehenge to the Versailles Hills in Wales. So although the exact purpose still remains a mystery, many scholars have settled on a theory as to what the purpose may be, and many have agreed that Stonehenge might have been a religious or ceremonial site, a burial site for the royalty and powerful, or maybe a memorial to honor and connect with ancestors. There's another theory, which was not so popular, still isn't that popular. It was suggested in 1960 by an astronomer named Gerald Hawkins, who stated that the megalithic stones were used as an astronomical calendar. Down here we get a better view. And unfortunately, people have criticized this theory because of the belief that the builders of Stonehenge most likely lacked the astronomical knowledge of events such as solstices, equinoxes, and eclipses. So However, a recent theory suggests that Stonehenge was a place of healing, since bluestone, which is seen in the inner rings here, was thought to have healing powers. And this conclusion was reached by British archaeologists who found signs of illness and injury in the human remains that were found at Stonehenge. So, all in all, many theories have been suggested, and Stonehenge continues to be a famous World Heritage Site that, with all sorts of mysteries, that attracts nearly 1 million tourists a year. So the third destination I have put down is the Palace of Versailles. Fly all the way over there. It's located in France. So again, here is the Palace of Versailles. Let's drop our guy so we can get a better view. So, it'll load. Hopefully it'll load. Let's move back out again. So, the Palace of Versailles, obviously located in Versailles, France, was built in 1623 by Louis XIII and originally served as a hunting lodge. However, Louis XIII's successor, Louis XIV, significantly reformed Versailles in the palace in order to make Versailles the seat of France's government. As of today, the palace has 2,300 rooms and is around 700,000 square feet in size. The palace was significant for a number of reasons. Firstly, as the French Revolution began, it represented the excesses and failure of the king and queen at the time. So the reasons aiding such failure included the economic crisis that was going on in France at the time, as well as the excesses, again, of the monarchy of Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette. So after the French Revolution had begun, Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette were stripped of their power and taken to Paris, where they were beheaded. So, as time progressed, the Palace of Versailles remained a place where several significant events took place. The most well-known event was the signing of the Treaty of Versailles, which took place in the Hall of Mirrors within the Palace of Versailles. So this treaty ended World War I by forcing Germany and other Central Powers to take blame, including in the treaty. Reparations were imposed on Germany as payments to the Allied powers. So overall, the Palace of Versailles attracts a lot of tourism and is one of the most visited sites in France, as it reflects one of the most visited cities and sites in France, as it reflects the beauty, culture, and history of the country. So the last place I have wanted to fly to or go to is the Blue Mosque, located in Istanbul, Turkey. Let's fly here. So we can get a better view. If it'll load, do not crash on me. Alright. So here we have the Blue Mosque. Let's see if we can drop our guy down, get a better view while we are within the Blue Mosque. Alright. So here we have the entrance to the mosque. So the Blue Mosque was built between 1609 and 1617 by the architect Sedefkar Mehmet Aga. The Blue Mosque received its name, the Blue Mosque, due to the fact that there are over 20,000 blue tiles along the interior of the mosque. Now, historically speaking, for over 400 years, the Blue Mosque has been a symbol of the Ottoman Empire's wealth and greatness. In addition, the mosque presents the Ottoman Empire as the successor to both the Roman and Byzantine Empire in their culture. Also, the Blue Mosque happens to be in the exact same spot where a former Byzantine palace once stood. Because of this, it asserts a physical and architectural dominance, which ultimately illustrates the Ottoman Empire's beliefs that they were, of course, the successors of the Roman and Byzantine empires. Now, the need for the expression of cultural and physical dominance over the two empires came from the Ottoman Sultan Ahmed I, who really wanted to overshadow his failed military conquests and not be hated. Furthermore, drought, famine, and the losses of military conquest the Ottoman Empire was going through at the time did not stop Ahmed I from creating something that would leave a lasting positive effect on his legacy and overshadow the loss of military conquest under his rule. So as a result, the Blue Mosque was created to ensure that Ahmed I would be remembered in a positive way, like the previous sultans before him. And as of today, the Blue Mosque still has significance through the important ceremonies and traditions it holds. And overall, the Blue Mosque is a famous tourist spot because of its significance to the history of the Ottoman Empire, as well as the traditions that are still practiced there. And that is all I have. Yep. All right.